I am Maria Skoy, and I was 17 years old when Google was launched.
Hi, my name is Carolyn Shavel, and I was 10 years old when Google was founded.
My name is Benjamin Witt, and I was 17 years old when Google was first created.
There are numerous search engines available on the internet, but none more dominant in the industry than Google. The New York-based company was founded just before the turn of the 21st century and has grown to arguably the most recognizable name in the virtual community. Google has understood and implemented the right strategies to increase their competitive advantage over the competition in hopes of future growth and sustainability. We will analyze the many pieces of Google's business strategy in order to find the formula that has shown Google the success that they have experienced. Google has had many strengths. They have provided available research in over 130 different languages, reflecting the global audience that they serve. They provide a non-discriminatory, culturally diverse setting, allowing most consumers to use their services in the comforts of their own language. They rank search results based on evidence, quickly provide requested information, improve current processes, and provide very cost-effective research for consumers. Their opportunities consist of constant growth through the global internet, and they use top management to transition out of the recession. The threat to Google's strength, however, calls for companies like Yahoo, Bing, and Microsoft to compete in the same environment. The largest weakness for Google is also their greatest opportunity. Internet accessibility is something developed countries can take for granted and can be seen as a luxury in other parts of the world. In poverty-stricken regions or developing countries, the internet is not available to the masses. In response to this possible weakness turned opportunity, Google has the belief that the need for information crosses all borders, leading to its mission to facilitate access to information for the entire world and in every language. Google has made themselves as available as possible for those that have internet access and will continue to strengthen this availability. Google wanted to expand themselves by capturing sales in the Chinese territory. The expansion was successful, attracted millions of users, and established itself through its specific competitive advantages despite strong domestic competitors like Chinese-owned and operated Baidu search engine. Business was thriving, with market share increasing in Google's favor until 2009 to 2010 when the Chinese government stepped in. China and the Chinese government unfortunately suffered a transnational conflict over a state-mandated censorship, ultimately prompting Google to withdraw from the mainland Chinese market and redirect its market to Hong Kong. Microsoft, along with Yahoo, will always be an influence in the decisions that Google makes if they want to stay on top of the search engine industry. The management team at Google has implemented a decision process that critics questioning their originality. The claim is that Google fails to invent their new ideas and simply improves current processes. The co-founder, Larry Page, aspires to make the perfect search engine with a foundation of CSR and a progressive corporate culture. Google's decision model is purely taking what has come before it and manufacturing it better for the customer. This ideology has proven successful given their market share. Google represents roughly half of the total market share. Growth is simply a byproduct. Google's ability to provide customers and consumers with the requested information at great speeds is a variable that the global search engine has been accustomed to. The trend for Google to emerge in other markets to increase the competitive advantage has been met with some identifiable improvements, much like the example used previously regarding China. Google has implemented numerous measuring tools to reinforce the keyword search query is performing to consumer standards and is committed to continual improvement that help distinguishes itself from the competitor. An important aspect of Google is that it allowed for a smooth transition out of the recession in 2008 to 2009, as that was their commitment to top management. Their focus was on recruiting and retaining the best employees post-recession. A company like Google has had the ability to succeed by people it employed and a strong workforce that allowed the company to be proactive. Porter's 5 forces include the threat of new entrants, rivalry between existing firms, the threat of substitute products or services, bargaining power of the suppliers, and bargaining power of buyers. This means that new search engines increase the competition between competitors such as Yahoo and Bing, or the possibility of substitute services. Porter's 5 forces also means that Google could face problems if companies no longer want to be a part of Google's search engine, or consumers stop using Google for searches. While all 5 forces help Google determine its strategy, we're going to focus on the threats of new entrants and rivalry between the existing firms. As mentioned earlier, the Chinese government prevented Google from continuing in China, and rather a new search engine was created in China. While this is only the country preventing Google from entering, the idea can spread and other companies can create such a search engine. Google currently holds about 50% of the market, but additional entrants can start to bring that down. The other force to discuss is rivalry between the existing firms, as Google is experiencing this frequently. Microsoft and Yahoo are working together to create a larger competition against Google, and if Google continues to grow, this could continue to happen as additional companies try to get a larger part of the market share. Microsoft's goal is trying to prevent Google from becoming an unchallenged superpower. Google thinks and states that as you make money you can do this without doing evil. Focus on the user and all else will follow. And fast is better than slow. While these items are not their strategy, word for word, they are used as guidelines along Porter's 5 forces to compete in the technology industry. This chart is from December 2012, and it clearly shows that Google is used in about 65% of the time a user searches the internet through a search engine. They made that so easy. Short-term goals for Google. They include being able to track other consumer needs to create new and innovative ideas. Instead of taking the products that another company has already created and making them better, they really need to concentrate on making their own new ideas. Part of this is because they need to keep a watchful eye on the force of Microsoft and Yahoo so that they are not overtaken by these companies. Long-term goals include advancing their systems to diversify their company, they really could offer a lot more than just as a search engine. And they should take advantage of more of the needs within the internet because they pretty much have the world at its fingertips. Google has proven to be innovative, skillful, and strategic. They rank search results based on relevance, quickly provide consumers with requested information, improve current processes, and prove to be culturally diverse. Google will need to overcome the rivalry with Microsoft and Yahoo to become bigger and better. We arrived at our suggestions through the use of the discussion board, text messages, and speaking on the phone. It worked best to assign parts of each project, start early, and frequently check our discussion boards and updates. We carefully considered the parts we enjoy writing and creating and assigned them accordingly. We searched for meaningful results as we all use Google and are part of their success. Our experience working as a team, that's easy. It was great, insightful, positive, and respectful, and we are so glad we did it. Thank you so much.